Hello, everyone. I'm just doing a quick sound check. Let me know if you can hear me. Doing a quick sound check. Doing a quick sound check. How are you guys doing today? What's Poppington team? Okay, let me make sure that this is shared inside of the group, and then we will begin. All right. Let me just get this syndicated real quick. Okay. All right, just type 777 in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me. Because we're not going to have a repeat of what happened with the last presentation where I'm like talking to myself for 4 minutes straight. All right, so how are you guys this evening? How's everyone doing? How are you feeling? We're winding down this beautiful weekend, gearing up for a brand new trading week. I figured that I would drop in to do a special live trading with my team, primarily to help expand the market mergers movement, and of course, chiefly to continue spreading awareness of this transformational product that we're all using called AIRO. So I know that you guys were always very interested in learning the ins and outs of marketing. Yes, J Terry, the market has definitely just opened. I share your sentiments of joy, my brother. So yeah, I know that you guys were very interested in the marketing aspect of the business, and so I'm here to kind of just like edify you on how to begin building authority and influence within your particular community, okay? Um, this is for the people who are, I guess, averse to the typical network marketing element of, prospecting strangers or tapping into your Rolodex of contacts, inviting them to opportunity calls and such. Really, this is all about building your social influence, and in doing so, helping you to transform your income residually as offered within Auvoria Prime without having to essentially practice the typical network marketing behaviors and strategies that I think some of you guys are afraid to implement, right? So this definitely is a brand building aspect to, promotion. I think you guys will find a lot of value in this. And these business practices that I've outlined in this presentation can be applied to various businesses, not just Auvoria Prime, but any product or service that you're offering, this could be applied to. All right. So please make sure to have a pen and paper handy, or your electronic notepad, because there is a lot of information condensed. I am keeping this very short and sweet, so let's get to it. Okay, today I'll be talking about how to build your social identity, right? Which is essentially creating, packaging, and promoting your story to build a customer magnet brand. Okay, and what do I mean by customer magnet brand? I mean, customers coming to you, magnetized by you rather than you contacting customers. Okay, I'm really big on attraction marketing, but what good is attraction marketing if you don't really know how to implement it, and if you don't have the audience foundation to attract others with your marketing in the first place, right? So let us begin. What is your social identity? Well, when building a business, the number one way, guys, to carve out your share of the capitalist pie is essentially to create your own social identity online, okay? Your own sphere of influence. This means it's your brand's vibe, your brand's language, the color schemes you use to articulate what your brand is all about, and most importantly, it's your story, okay? Guys, you are the brand here, all right? I myself am my own brand. Juanito is his own brand. Miguel Chambers is his own brand. Nathan J. Williams is his own brand, right? Calvin Frazier, Dante, all of them are their own brands. They carry their own spheres of influence. And really, it takes a certain level of um, deliberate action, right, to craft your own sphere of influence, especially on social media. And I'm going to show you how. Why is it important? Okay, why is your story important? Essentially, guys, people buy into people, not products. Never forget this, okay? Uh, just look at Kylie Jenner, for example. She literally released way back, I think it was like 2014. She was promoting this lip plumping gloss. And what did millions of people worldwide start to do? They essentially sucked their lips into shot glasses to get big, fat, luscious lips, right? That's what you call spheres of influence. Why? Because people buy into people, what they represent, what their lifestyle is like. People tend to support others that they want to emulate, all right? Not necessarily the product. So what this means is you can essentially promote all day, every day, your product or your service. It does not matter at all, guys, because again, no one is really buying into products. They're buying into what you are essentially conveying the product can do, right? They are buying into the whole vibe, the culture, the swag behind the product, which are all things that you are responsible for creating. Okay. Um, However, a lot of these things arise. The failure to identify three key things in promoting yourself as a brand tends to arise. And what I'm going to essentially enumerate on are these, okay? Who are you? Why are you relatable? And what's so unique? Oftentimes, we tend to eclipse this overall imagery of like why we're even in a position to promote a product or service in the first place. All right. Again, a lot of you guys and just people in general, they don't really know how to position themselves when they have a product or a service to offer. A lot of folks complain about being unable to recruit. We are not in the business of recruiting. We are in the business of, providing solutions to people's problems, right? I think recruiting is a little superficial, okay? We're not in the business of just getting a whole bunch of people to promote a non-existent product. We want to provide solutions to people's problems. And the only way that you can do that is really by defining who you are and communicating that, identifying how you're relatable to your core audience and communicating that, and then also, most importantly, identifying in what ways you are unique, all right, apart from the vast ocean of sellers that may be promoting other products that are similar to that of your own. All right. So who are you? All right. I want you to jot down little notes about who you are by answering these key questions below. All right. So I'm going to tell you how to create essentially your own story or how to identify who you are. All right. And all of this is going to tie into the grand finale, which is how to promote yourself, how to promote your product so that you're gaining sales, okay, without coming across as a corny salesperson, because who likes corny salespeople? All right. So defining who you are, it's very easy. All right. This level rather is easy. What's your name, your age, your education level, your belief system, your location, where you're from. All right. Medium. All right. What business do you have? What are your goals for it? And then the hard questions like, why are you in business? And how can this business benefit others? And why do you think so? All right. So those are three levels of difficulty behind the questions to define who you are. What's your name? Okay. What business do you have? What are your goals for it? Pretty much easy to identify what that is, right? And then it gets a little trickier when you have to really face the music. Why are you in Auvoria Prime, right? Why are you utilizing AIRO? And why do you think AIRO can benefit others? Okay. These are questions that you need to answer, and they will cultivate your brand identity, right? Who you are as a brand, who you are as a brand as it relates to Auvoria Prime, rather. Okay. Why are you relatable? This essentially goes into the gamut of why people should listen to you. What's so important about your voice? Okay. How can the public relate to your personal experiences? Because let's face it, most people connect with people who are like minded or possess qualities that they aspire to have. All right. You have to be able to connect with both ends of the spectrum by learning how to relate to your public. And you can do this by opening up a window into your life through thoughtful posts and dynamic imagery on Facebook and Instagram, particularly. Okay. And last but not least, to answer this question, what is so unique? What's so unique about you? What about you stands out from the crowd? Take some time to think about it. This goes into what's your unique value proposition. Okay. Your UVP, or your unique value proposition, is a straight to the point description of what benefits you bring to customers while highlighting your social identity. So, for example, all right. Let's pick on Daniel Watson. I'm picking on you tonight, my guy, all right? And I'm just making up something, a scenario. Let's say you've said this. I am an Army veteran who teaches men and women how to use the Forex markets to create additional streams of income after retirement. What did Daniel Watson do in this situation? He identified who he is, right? He is an Army veteran. He identified his core demographic that he's trying to reach, which are men and women, right? Particularly after they retire. So that's a certain age demographic as well, right? And he's also identified his unique value proposition, which is how to use Forex markets to create additional streams of income. All right. So being able to articulate this particular sentence here, all right, is essentially the cusp of what it means to create your own story. All right. So the three previous questions you answered is the spine of your story. For example, this beautiful woman, she says, I am Lorraine Rivers, a 65-year-old woman of Afro-Latina heritage who grew up in the rural south of Savannah, Georgia during the 60s with limited opportunity for women of color. Impassioned by my financial struggles after losing my job of 30 years serving the Department of Health, I decided that my purpose in life was to teach minorities in urban communities the value of entrepreneurship. To do so, I created a course that trains young men and women how to start a business. Okay. This is what it means if we can backtrack. Who are you? She identified who she is. Why is she relatable? Lorraine clearly indicated that in her story. And what's so unique about Lorraine? Well, let's get to it, right? She's what you call a baby boomer, right? Or a boomer, whatever generation she belongs to. All right. She's also a woman of color who experienced marginalization growing up in the rural South, right? What else is so unique about her? She lost her job after serving 30 years. All right, punching a clock. And at her age, she decided to pursue entrepreneurship and teach other people younger than her the value of starting a business. Okay, so that goes into, again, just to recap, who she is. She identified that, right? She identified why she's relatable because there are other people within her demographic that have faced, similar circumstances, and she identified what is her unique value proposition. What makes her story so unique? It's the purpose behind her whole entire existence in this particular industry, in the business industry. That's what makes it so unique. That's what makes her story so unique. Are you guys following me? Just drop some 7 sevens in the chat to let me know if you are following exactly what I am saying here. All right. I'm actually in the chat right now to make sure that I'm answering any questions you have. All right, cool. You guys are on task. Awesome. So here's where the juicy part comes in, guys. Okay. Now that you've created your story, it's time to package it for the world. Again, just to recap, we're here to talk about how to create your story, which we went over, how to package your story, and then how to promote your story. Okay. So as far as packaging your story, what does this mean? It essentially is divided into two sections: designing your voice and then selecting exposure avenues for your voice. Okay, so designing your voice. How are you going to visually and audibly articulate your story for potential customers to interact with you as a person and what you're offering? Because again, what did I say in the beginning? People buy into people, not products, right? This is where you decide on how you're going to present yourself on social media. And your post should reflect your personality that, again, conveys your story, staying true to who you uniquely are. All right. And then, of course, conversely, your exposure avenues. You are to essentially, tonight, I want everybody to select one or two social media platforms to start with. In this case, you can start with Facebook and Instagram, okay? Use any other social networking sites like Twitter, Snapchat, or TikTok as syndicates of what you share on your two main platforms, okay? So what I mean by that is any type of content that you are sharing already on your two primary platforms, you're just going to re-syndicate or repurpose that content on your other stream, on your other social media streams. All right. That way you're not being, pulled in different directions, as it gets quite cumbersome to manage 5 social media platforms at a time and create individual content unique to the platform. That is just overwhelming, and I don't want to do that to you guys. Okay. Hootsuite is actually a really great software to use for syndicating social media posts across multiple platforms for the purpose of saving time and, of course, headache. Okay, so please go to hootsuite.com if you can. Check them out. They also have a unique post scheduling system. Okay, I utilize them. Sometimes I'm not even the one who is posting. It really is Hootsuite that is doing the promotion for me, or the posting rather. And I'm able to simultaneously post to multiple platforms all in one unique outlay dashboard. Okay. So, packaging your story, all right? I actually created a pie chart that illustrates different ways that you can package your story on social media, okay? You can do this by 30% personal pics, okay? 25% personal videos, 20% product news, okay? You only really want to talk about your product or what you're offering at like between 15 to 20% of the time, okay? 10% of your content can revolve around presentations. You can package your story through these media, through personal quotes, through industry news. So let me break this down for you, okay? Personal pics, what does this mean? Example 1. Let's use Lorraine, okay? In order to package her story, Lorraine may opt to take a candid front-facing photo of herself using a black and white filter to illustrate the time period she was born in, which was the 1940s or 1950s. I'm sorry, she grew up in the 60s, right? She may also accompany the photo with at least 3 paragraphs, including 3 to 4 sentences each, evenly spaced, about a vivid memory in her past that motivated her to pursue entrepreneurship. Okay. Her goal is to relate and to inform. Okay. Through one picture, Lorraine is able to show herself as a real human being and then communicate her unique value proposition or position without directly asking for a sale. So I'm sure that you guys are very familiar with, the social media posts that you see from folks who are essentially deemed influencers, right? And they might take a post of themselves. It's like really moody, you know what I'm saying? And it has like a whole freaking paragraph, right? um, accompanying the photo. Honestly, guys, that is the type of storytelling that you should be implementing if you are seeking to aggregate a large following and carve out spheres of influence so that you're getting sales in your business. Okay. Honestly, all of you guys have to start moving like influencers. You have a unique story to tell. Each and every one of you guys have a UVP. It's just a matter of being able to articulate it. So you can do this through personal pictures. From now on, do not just post personal pictures of yourself with a one sentence caption, or, at worst, one word as your caption, okay? You're no longer doing that, guys. Put some effort into storytelling with each picture that you take, okay? You can literally take a picture of your coffee mug in the morning at 6 o'clock before you go to work, and you can include like a motivational speech or like your thoughts for that morning. Just be kind of like transparent about who you are, right? Bring people into your life. That's what it's all about. Example 2, product news and presentations. If we're going back to how to package your story and the different ways that you can do that, product news is one of them, as well as presentations. Okay, so using Lorraine as an example again, Lorraine understands the power of persuasion, and instead of communicating annoying sales pitcher, aka spammer, to her following, she instead opts for hosting a presentation and inviting her friends, colleagues, and social media following to attend the presentation. And on this presentation, she is able to share transformative information about her products or services and powerful testimonials that can equate to sales. Okay. So, again, who is Lorraine? Well, she said who she was, okay? 65-year-old woman of Afro-Latina heritage, grew up in the rural South, quit her, well, actually, she got fired from her job after 30 years of serving, the health department, right? She was inspired to essentially go down the path of entrepreneurship and then teach younger generations how to become entrepreneurs so that they can avoid her fate years down the line of being let go after serving nearly half her life, okay, to a corporation. So this is Lorraine's story, all right? And this is how she's able to package that story. She's able to, through a presentation form, go into detail about her past, why she became an entrepreneur, what propelled her to want to, provide entrepreneurship mentoring services to the younger community, right? And she's able to showcase the services that she offers, whether it's one-to-one business coaching, whether it's workbooks that she has that teaches students how to start an LLC, the different licenses that you need per state, right? Whether it's, I don't know, a corporate tax filing calendar that's offered and she sells it for $10. Through a presentation, right, she's able to pair her story and her purpose as well as her products in one total package without having to essentially hit somebody up randomly and be like, hey, I have this new product and service. I think you should try it out. Okay. It's all about providing value to somebody. And through presentations, you are able to do that. All right. Let's take a look at personal quotes. 10% personal quotes. Okay. What do I mean by personal quotes? Well, I tend to post personal quotes quite often, okay, on my social media, and I get a lot of engagement. The personal quote that I made not too long ago, duplication equals delegation, that is what you would call a personal quote. Make sure that your quotes are able to influence your particular demographic, your target market, okay? Make sure that what you have to say is valuable to somebody else, or at least relatable, right? A post that I made. A part of being an entrepreneur is knowing when to pivot. Don't be afraid to leave certain projects behind and embrace new ones that bring better opportunity and enhanced benefits. Again, like, I'm someone who constantly provides content, right? So that people can engage. It demonstrates my story. In this particular quote, you can kind of ascertain who I am, right? Because I'm talking about being an entrepreneur. So you get from me, well, if she's talking about being an entrepreneur, then obviously she must be an entrepreneur herself, right? She probably was given an opportunity to, expand her business in different ways, and she's talking about the path, the entrepreneurial trajectory of leaving old news behind and moving on to greener, finer pastures, right? So you can ascertain so much from a simple quote. This is essentially what I mean, okay? Posting quotes that are relevant to your story are very important. Product news, if you are going to, talk about products that you have. Let's say, you guys are in AIRO, in Auvoria Prime, and you promote AIRO. If you are going to talk about product news, please do not sit up there and be like, oh, AIRO costs $209 and this is a great way to win in the Forex market. Hit me up to buy. Don't come across like that. Do not share, your affiliate links. Those are just ineffective ways of promoting. And not only that, but it kind of undervalues and undermines the real essence of what it is that AIRO is providing, right? Just from a transformative, unprecedented level in the Forex markets. Pushing the product in that way just undermines the value of the product itself and your influence, right? So if you are going to talk about product news, guys, please, please, please share testimonials, okay? There's a reason why I've organized the group Planet AIRO the way that I have, and I've made sure to use the hashtag service that's embedded within the group functionality, so that it's very easy for you guys to kind of sift through the content, grab and go based on what you need. Okay, so check out hashtag results, check out hashtag AIRO works. Okay, copy and paste those results. Hell, if you're in the AIRO bag chat, okay, people are constantly winning with this particular software. It really is just the shit, right? Excuse my language. So use testimonials to your advantage, okay? If you are going to talk about product news, that's the type of vibe that you should be on. Testimonials are literally the number one most powerful way to promote this particular product. And again, at no point in time am I on my social media talking about, hey, sign up with my link. I'm waiting for 10 more slots to open up. The gate closes at 11 p.m. on this date. Get in while you can. Like, I do not have the time or the energy to promote like that. Okay. I am all about hyping up the value of the product based on truth, guys, okay? Because the testimonials speak volumes in and of themselves. So I do a lot of engagement on my posts. I am constantly, thinking of new ways to interact with my people, okay, my audience. I am constantly providing value with the things that I'm saying, that with the information that I am sharing, and it all ties back to what my personal story is. Never once am I speaking outside of authenticity. I am my true self. There are days where you're going to know that I'm pissed off. There are days that you're going to be like, oh, Ashley is just on some Zen flow. Oh man, she is definitely on some like I don't know, what's my favorite speaker's name? I'm thinking. Mm. She listened to the Foo Fighters this morning and then finished up with a sermon from E.T., the hip hop preacher. So she's on it, right? You can kind of tell my vibe on social media because I'm my authentic self. Okay. So it's all about really presenting yourself authentically and transparently without having to hyperinflate this corporate um, depiction of yourself. Just be yourself, guys. Okay. And the only time that I am sharing product news, okay, I don't even promote Auvoria Prime. Like you never hear me say, "Oh, join Auvoria Prime," right? I am very product focused, okay? I'm very product focused because that's what I'm utilizing. I'm utilizing the products within Auvoria Prime. The celebrity here is AIRO. All right. The celebrity here is the binary options that is empowered by AIRO. So that's where my focus is. And I'm showcasing the testimonials, okay? Not only of myself, guys, but also of others. There's a lot of power that comes into play when you can say, look at what my team is doing, okay? There's a lot of leverage in that. And each one of you guys are a part of this community, and you are able to leverage the results of your other fellow Planet Arrow tribes people. All right. So please implement, implement, implement. All right. So, promoting your story. Now that you've established the different ways that you can package your story, let's get into promotion. Now, this is like very short, very simple because I'm going to do a follow up presentation on how to effectively promote, like on some massive scale type level. Okay. I am actually reclining my duties, as the founder of Market Mergers and focusing on like, I guess what Ronnie gave me the perfect word for it, human resources manager. Because I'm doing everything from troubleshooting people's software to hopping on a one-on-one session with them to break the software down to then introducing new updates to people on a daily basis to answering emails. So I'm just very much in the background on some admin type flow. So I am reclining from that and really pushing forth with my promotional efforts. It's about time. So I want to get into the details with you guys about how to essentially promote the crap out of this software the right way, the expert way, the industry standard way, so that you don't have to waste your time in people's inboxes. I mean, I hope none of you guys are doing that in the first place. But like I'm reading some of the comments. I'm reading some of the comments here. I hope that none of you guys are doing that. But I'm gonna be showcasing to you guys exactly how to build landing pages, build funnel systems, build email campaigns, okay? Create automated webinars, get into the habit of doing your presentations, especially when you have like a PowerPoint presentation in front of you. It's all about just reading the context that's on the slides, just like how I'm doing, and being comfortable with presenting, okay? And then having that running on autopilot in the back while you're doing paid traffic and influencer marketing and all of that stuff. But what I want to do for you guys tonight is to essentially break down something very simple, okay? The methodology is very easy to do. Promoting your brand's social identity is extremely simple once you've identified different ways that you can package, or in other words, articulate your story to the public, okay? Let's take a quick look at the chart on the next page that I've put together for you. Please take a picture of this. You're definitely going to need this. Took me a lot of time and research to develop the right time frames and in association with the type of content that you should be posting on a daily basis. All right. So this is a promotion schedule. It's a condensed social promotion program that you can follow in order to maximize the results of sharing your personal story on Facebook in particular. Okay. or syndicating your what? Your UVP, your unique value proposition in different ways. And we went over that. Okay. So just for like reference point, guys, these are the different ways that we can communicate our what? Our story. Okay. Through personal pics, personal videos, product news, industry news, like what's going on in the crypto world. If again, you guys are a part of AP, you guys are promoting AIRO, you're utilizing AIRO, you're cashing a ton of pips with Bitcoin. This means that you can actually syndicate news about crypto, okay? Subscribe to Benzinga, subscribe to Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg Report, get industry news delivered to your phone every morning and screenshot that, okay? Screenshot it and post it to your social media. And there's a specific way to do that. In the next presentation, I will essentially break that down for you. But you guys can do this without much direction, okay? That's what I mean by industry news. Presentations, again, these are different ways that you can package your story. You can communicate who you are. Because again, people buy what? People buy into people, not products. Please remember that. So these are the different ways that you can do this, okay? It's all about you. It's all about you, babe, okay? It's all about promoting you. So you can do this through presentations, even personal quotes. We went into that, okay? So that's just a quick recap. So this is the type of content that you can post in conjunction with the time frames, okay? Get your picture, screenshot it, get your camera, I'm sorry, and screenshot this. Take a picture of this graph, all right? So Sunday mornings, best time to post is 8 to 9 a.m., all right? Your time. 8 to 9 a.m. your time on Sunday mornings. And the content options, morning picture of yourself with a nice, inspirational post. Be creative, be a storyteller. If it's I'm sorry, I'm drinking almond breeze. I apologize for my disruption. If you are drinking a nice cup of Colombian coffee, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, write a couple posts about that. Write a couple paragraphs about it, 3 to 4 sentences each. Be creative. Talk about how you feel, right? Just be transparent. If you're feeling crappy, like let people know. I realized something. I realized that people value honesty over this like fake mirage that all is well and dandy. Okay, I actually like when I can hit somebody up and I'm like, how you doing? And they're like, you know what, send me some positive energy because I'm feeling crappy today. There's something salt of the earth and relatable to that. And again, it goes back to what? Being relatable. All right, that is one of the fundamental building blocks to creating your story. Another content option that you can take advantage of for Sunday mornings are industry news. All right. So any news that's relating to your particular industry, in this case, it's the financial industry. There's plenty of morning news that's syndicated by the New York Times. Again, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You can share this news on social media. All right. Sunday in the evening times, 4 to 6, you want to start engaging with people. Okay. Evening times is when the freaks and the creeps come out. So this is when you want to be a little more juicy, a little more spicy, okay? And how are you able to do this? By, doing polls, asking controversial questions that of course are related to your personal identity, okay? So again, people are people, guys. While you are of course, interested in promoting a product or a service, again, what are your target audience doing on the weekends, right? They're spending time with their loved ones. They're probably, seeing a movie with their partner. Gain traction by asking people interesting questions about their relationships, right? I find questions like, what would you do if your partner cheated on you, to particularly rile up, okay, the community, regardless of who you are, where you come from. Everyone could pretty much weigh in on relationship topics, okay? Again, you want to be seen as someone of influence and someone who can get a lot of conversation going, okay? So just have fun with it. you know, mix it up. You can even do a personal video, guys, where you're just talking about how your morning went. You can do a personal video on Snapchat if you know, you're not about, I don't know, getting live on video because you're shy. Hell, go and put a dragon filter of yourself on Snapchat and talk to people as a dragon. Who the hell cares, okay? Just being relatable on video really showcases a level of transparency and that you're a real human being, okay? Mondays, best time to post 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. You want to do a morning quote or a morning picture of yourself. Again, never post pictures without an inspirational post accompanying it. Okay, so you have to be, in order to, the bottom line is, guys, in order to see the results that you want to see, in order to be a customer magnet, right, where you're able to sign up, let's say 10 to 15 people all at once, like, you have to really take your social identity seriously. Okay, why be on Facebook if you're not going to monetize it? Why be on Facebook if you're going to talk about pure nonsense, or if you're going to share other people's content? And by the way, just a tidbit, if you are accustomed to sharing other people's content, please stop it now, okay? Never do this again, because it actually completely messes up your Facebook algorithm, okay? And it puts the favor with the person who you're sharing the content from. It puts the odds in their favor as far as algorithmic popularity. Okay, never share someone else's content. Stop doing that. You can always repurpose the content that the person shared. Okay, and if you want to credit them, you can always credit them in the caption. But do not share anybody else's posts moving forward. Okay. Wednesday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. So again, like, take your time, go through this particular chart that I gave you, you know, the prompts. You can do evening videos, evening pictures. Pretty much all of this is going to tie into who you are as a person. It must illustrate your unique value proposition, all right, what your purpose is in life, not necessarily your products, not necessarily, you know, your business, but just what is your overall purpose in life. Okay, that's how you have to, you kind of have to move, you know, like your own personal Grant Cardone, all right, if that makes sense, or your Gary V. Like, move like that, have insightful content to share that's based on real experiences that you've encountered, lessons that you've learned, right? And articulate that through these media. Does that make sense, guys? So what I want you to do is, you know, I'm actually going to download this presentation and upload it on YouTube for you guys to re-listen to. Anybody who missed this presentation, you are free to, you know, attend the replay. I want all of you guys to join us for part 2 of our town hall meetings to discuss scaling your promotional efforts on social media to actually attract customers. So this first part was all about identifying your unique value proposition, which is creating your story, packaging your story, and then, you know, promoting it in different ways, right? Now I'm going to actually get into, on the next presentation, the mechanics behind scaling your promotional efforts on some other type level, okay? So that you can attract thousands of leads at a time without necessarily having to have one-to-one conversations. And guys, if you are going to have one-to-one conversations, they are now going to be in the presence of a presentation, okay? That is how you move in these streets. As a presenter, okay? You are a workshop host. You are a reservoir of information and resources, and it's through a presentation that you are able to, of course, tell other people about your story, but most importantly, showcase your products, get into the nitty gritty behind what they do, what their benefits are, and how people can buy into those products. So thanks for your attendance. Our next live training workshop will be announced in the official Market Mergers Facebook group. So if you are not yet a member, please do type in Planet AIRO Forex Tribe. in Facebook and request for an invitation. You will be invited, and continue on following this particular event series. I'm definitely going to continue to do more of these, guys. They'll be getting a little more in depth as time goes on, but for now, peace, salute in Latin, and I'll see you later. Thanks for your attendance. Bye bye.